Good citizen. Hell yeah. What up, what up? Just got off a live stream from Facebook. Thought I'd haven't been live here for a while. Not much going on, just doing a little Q&A. Um, should have a new video dropping tomorrow or the next day. Just thought I'd say hi to everyone, see what's up with everybody. Only going to be online for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Got a doctor appointment in the morning. But yeah, just I was out and about for a few, so thought I'd just do a quick live stream. Is it possible to audit in a shopping mall? Great question. There is. I haven't done too many, but there's a lot of variables. For example, there are some shopping malls, like strip malls, that have places like DMVs on them, or maybe a post office. If there's government property, state property, or federal property on there, they are basically consenting to treat it like government property. So if you have to pass through that mall to record, you can definitely go and take some pictures and video over there. Um, some malls, there's also case law. I can't remember what it is, but something like Prune Yard versus something, where if you're just taking some pictures and video, you can definitely record on, in a mall-like setting. Keep in mind, if you go inside an individual store, like let's say you go into a T-Mobile or something like that, that's private property, a private business, then you would have to, exit if they ask you to exit, or that would be trespassing. But I usually don't like to do malls, like I said, unless there happens to be a DMV or maybe a post office on it. Um, I actually did one over in Santana Row earlier in the year. I don't think I even posted the full video, but they kind of freaked out a little bit. So yeah, it's new territory. I got to do a little more research, honestly. Frank Evans, 831 in the motherfucking house. Hope you're doing well, brother. Local cop watcher over in Salinas, California, helping with the transparency. Good citizen, you have a question. Can you record on a hospital parking lot? I don't know, man. It seems like you're trying to entrap me, but it honestly depends. So here's the deal. So if it's a private entity, which some hospitals are private, some actually belong to the city or county or state or whatever, and it's public, then you can record. I've actually done quite a few audits on some hospitals that are public. Like if you go look at, just type in Anthony X and Salinas, California, Natividad Hospital. I've done one in the back, one in the front. I've done some other hospitals, but if it's private, yeah, you could go and record on the property. But if they ask you to leave because it is private, you could have to leave or you'd be trespassing. But great question. I would recommend, though, do your research. Kind of like the one here in Hollister. I've audited on there a few times, and they haven't done anything because they know it belongs to the community. It belongs to the people. So it all depends. Is the hospital privately owned, or does it belong to the people? If it belongs to the people, well, guess what? You're one of those people. You have a right to be on there. And as long as you're doing it in a nice, professional way, you're not going in restricted areas, you're not harassing people or following people to their vehicles or sticking cameras in their faces. But if you just want to walk around and record, they can't give you any, and stay in the area that you're lawfully allowed to be. They can't give you any bullshit like HIPAA. HIPAA applies to the medical professionals, like the insurance companies, and the onus falls on them to protect that private info, not you, the citizen. However, this is not legal advice. Keep in mind, this is not legal advice. This is just my personal humble opinion to the best of my knowledge. For legal advice, I got to disclose this. Consult with an attorney. Let's see. But yeah, thanks for the question. Good citizen. Hell yeah. Great question. But yeah, like I said, you can check out the did one in Hollister, did one in Salinas, did a couple different hospitals over in Salinas. One was, I believe, a private entity. One was a public. So, I did two different types of audits. So it all depends, like I said. Don't film sick people. Keep in mind, so when you say don't film sick people, when I go out and audit, I'm not focusing on one particular individual. I'm just walking around getting B-roll footage. When I go to a hospital, I'm not walking up to someone like in a wheelchair or going into one of their rooms trying to, see what's going on. I'm just walking around like the lobby, maybe outside in the parking lot, maybe checking out the gift shop, things like that. Maybe checking out some of the staff members, maybe the security, to see how they react and do they respect my rights. Obviously, I can't control if they approach me, though. Why you can't record in an ICU? Well, I would imagine it's a restricted area. Come on now. My name of my channel is not Anthony X Second Amendment Audits. The name of my channel is Anthony X First Amendment Audits. However, so I'm not an expert in all the Second Amendment laws, but I don't agree with it. I believe every American citizen, every lawful citizen, should have a right to bear arms and protect their family. If it was up to me, as long as you do it safely, I personally believe that you should be allowed to, open carry, on there. You should be, I guarantee it, man, in my opinion. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I bet there'd be a lot less crime if people knew that if you rob someone, there's a good chance that they might be armed. There'd probably be a lot less crime. That's just what I think, but great question. See, Joe, did you get permission from that gas station to record them? I was about to say, what gas station? But I get it. I see what you're saying. Across the street right now. I'm just in a parking lot. No, I did not get permission. Luckily, I don't need it, though. I wonder if they got permission from when they have a lot of cameras, I would imagine, around the gas station. I wonder if they have when you go in to buy a lottery ticket or something. I wonder if they have you sign a consent form or get verbal authority to take your picture. I know everybody should move to Texas. Now, I'm gonna pass. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know they got some better laws there on certain things, but it's funny. I know people who have actually moved to Texas, and man, everybody always comes back. I know California has some sucky fucking laws. I get it. But man, I wouldn't trade it for anything, man. The fresh air, the oceans, mountains, just things to do. But yeah, our politics are a little fucked up. I ain't gonna lie with you, good citizen. Do you as auditors carry pepper spray? Well, you can't say you. When you say you as auditors, I can't say how other people do. But me personally, I'm not going to really disclose what I carry for protection. Let's just put it this way. I have in the past, but I don't always. But I'm not going to get into what I carry, that way. I'm sure there's some trolls watching that would like to know, how can we attack Anthony? How can we get at him? No. I'm not going to show all my cards. But great question, though. People in you are allowed to carry it. Just to remind everyone, and I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but just to really be clear, though, to the best of my knowledge, man, if anyone's out there carrying pepper spray, it's not meant to be used as a weapon. It's not meant to be used because you're throwing a little tantrum and you're mad at somebody. Even if I know you have a right to protect your property, but let's say someone steals your wallet and they're running away, you technically can't spray them, on there. To the best of my knowledge, it's only in the line of self-defense. Like if someone's actually about to physically getting in your personal space, approaching you aggressively, maybe they're trying to attack you or one of your friends or family members, you can only use it in self-defense. It's not meant to get your property back or to use out of anger. If we could get Mr. Newsom out of the office, it's still California, man. Like no matter who gets in there, I don't see much changing. There is a lot of things I feel like that does need to be changed, though, man. Like, people need to be able to arm themselves. There's people out there with felony convictions from maybe 20, 30 years ago that were not violent. They paid their debt to society. They've been working for 20, 30 years, and they technically can't carry pepper spray or have their gun rights restored unless you get, I think it's a pardon or whatever. And then, citizens, just even if you were never convicted, why can't you carry a weapon with you to protect yourself or your family? You always hear about these mass shootings. I know I'd feel better, if I knew like half the people had, firearms. I bet people would think twice before doing those mass shootings. Although when you're crazy, you're crazy. Maybe not. Watching from Illinois. Hell yeah. My best friend lives over in Chicago. He's come up to visit me a few times. He's from Santa Cruz. I've been meaning to get out there and do some audits, hopefully in the future. The problem with open carry, can't do it in a private business. I would imagine. I'm not an expert. Like I said, I'm not Anthony X Second Amendment rights. I'm Anthony X First Amendment rights or audits. I would imagine let's just say open carry was lawful here in California. I would imagine each business, I could be wrong though, I would imagine each business has the right to choose if they want that to allow firearms or not. I'm not sure how that works. Tell me. I mean, let's say in Texas, I believe you can open carry. Are you allowed to walk into any business, or does that business have the right to say, hey, since it's private property, we don't allow firearms? Or would they be committing a crime? I don't know how that works. Do they have to let you carry, or is that a choice? Let's see. Good citizen trying to move to Santa Monica. Yeah, there's a nice little market out there. The guy that owns this little market, I can't remember the name. He's actually from Santa Cruz County. I met him a few times. It's a nice area, but it is expensive. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know if what your financial situation is. If you're gonna rent, or going out with family, or gonna buy a house, but it is an expensive area. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. Ken Murphy. First Amendment auditors do fulfill a role in today's society by holding public officials accountable and assuring transparency. We don't always guarantee it. We try our best, though. So, like when I go out and audit, it's an exercise of rights. And if they respect them, I try to highlight them. If they don't, then yes, I expose them. That's my main thing. And then, of course, trying to file possible complaints, trying to get people to make those phone calls, and hopefully little by little they learn. What's Good Citizen? That's the name of one of these here in the comments. Check out, if you got to go through the comments. All right. There's actually another Good Citizen over here, over in the Salinas area. Give me a second scrolling through here. Let's see. The movement highlights the importance of First Amendment rights, particularly in environments where government accountability is essential. Yes, we try our best. It's never perfect, but we definitely try our best. Good citizen. Yeah, I want to get a job in the music business. Well, you're definitely heading in the right direction. If you're out there in a Hollywood, Santa Monica area, that's pretty close. Traffic is crazy there. I shit you not. If you don't, it takes you a while to learn all the freeways, but you can try to get somewhere that's only a few miles away. And if you're going in the wrong direction at the wrong time of day, it can take you 2 hours, man. But oh, there's a cop right over there, guys. Let's see if they come over. Hopefully they don't come over and harass me. I'm gonna turn my light on just to see if that gets their attention. Oh, my light is burned out. Son of a bitch. I was putting my little green light on here. The cop already turned, missed it though. All right, let's see. But good luck with that for sure, Mr. Good Citizen. Let's see. Sure, there's some good things here in Texas. But yeah. If you want to be into entertainment business, so like as far as like you got to be in your Hollywood and all that in LA area in general, I would imagine, until you get the ball rolling and get known. Let's see, Ken. Yes, some of the bootlicking trolls argue that some auditors use confrontational tactics to provoke reactions rather than promote legitimate oversight. And here's the thing, guys, it's funny. Like, I can't speak for everyone, but in every organization, there's going to be good and bad apples. For example, there's some good cops out there, there's some bad cops out there. There's good auditors, there's bad auditors. The funny thing is, I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, probably. 3 different states, 3 different Hawaiian islands. Me personally, I've never once just randomly walked up to someone and stuck a camera in their face. If you guys watch my videos, my 500, 600, 700 videos, I've never once just randomly walked up to someone and said, hey, fuck you, or stuck my finger up to them just for fun. But I guarantee you watch my videos and people do walk up to me, though, and start yelling and cussing and throwing a little tantrum, or they try to stick their cameras in my face, or they start yelling at me, or they call the police hoping to violate my rights. But yet somehow we're the troublemakers. Guys, this is America, the land of the free. At least it's supposed to be. You don't always have to understand or even agree with why someone's doing something, but if they're not hurting you, leave them the fuck alone. Stop feeling entitled, like you're entitled to answers, or you're entitled to tell another grown man or woman when and where to take pictures and video. It's mind-boggling how camera phobia is a real thing now. Back in the old, oh, there goes another cop. Back in the days, if someone had a camera 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you jumped in front of it and said hello or tried to make silly faces. Now people are scared of cameras. But yeah, it's funny. They say we're the agitators because we're out there peacefully recording, yet they're the ones that are coming up to us. If you don't want to be recorded, it's not rocket fucking science. Don't approach the cameraman and don't get their attention. And I've been running businesses for 30 years. I can tell you this. There's no such thing as bad exposure unless you make it bad. You can shine like a star or melt like a snowflake. If you own, manage, or run a fucking business, simply ignores. If you see someone out there recording on a sidewalk, you don't know if they got 10 people watching, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. Worst case scenario, just fucking ignore them. If you don't want to be recorded, they'll probably move on pretty quickly. Or maybe go out and say hello. How are you? Do you have any questions for me? Can I offer you a bottle of water? Maybe a tour? And you're definitely welcome to ask some questions, but if the cameraman doesn't want to offer, don't think it gives you a right to throw a little hissy fit, and don't make your business look fucking silly. I mean, come on, man. Anyways, I could go on about that. Yes, good luck to Mr. Good Citizen, definitely. When you get some music going, shoot me out a private link or whatever to my Facebook Messenger and or Instagram. And for those of you, I haven't been advertising yet, but I do have a new email. You could even send me a link if anyone wants to email me. AX1audits@yahoo.com. That's AX and then just a number 1, like numeric. So AX1audits@yahoo.com. I think right over there is another cop cruising the parking lot right to the left of the Chevron. You're going to see a light popping up there. I'm going to put my special different color green light on here. I'm going to put my blue one. See if that gets their attention. Got my green light here. See if that makes them want to come over and check me out, see what I'm doing. Turn my light off now that they drove by. Nope, that wasn't even a cop. I thought it was a cop for some reason. I was too busy looking at my damn flashlight. let's see, going back to, you're pretty sure private can say get out. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Maybe I missed something here, but yeah, if you're on a private business on private property and they don't want you in there, they can tell you to get out. Now, if you're in a mall-like setting, like right now, I'm in a strip mall. I went and purchased something. They usually have contracts with the city. You're welcome to record on a mall-like setting as long as you're doing it peacefully. Say for your personal use, for example, and they can't kick you out just because you have a camera on. Now, if you go into a private business on the mall, for example, like T-Mobile, or maybe, whatever, a private restaurant or whatever, and they don't want you recording and they want you to leave, then yeah, you have to leave. If not, you're trespassing. But if there is, for example, a DMV, maybe a post office on that private property strip mall, it's now, in a sense, it's open to the public because government entity is renting it. You have a right to go on there. They can't say, well, you can't go, you don't have access because you have a camera. I'm going to wrap this one up pretty soon, guys. Just wanted to stop by and say hello to everyone. Let's see. Again, good citizen, good luck to you. If you're ever out in my neck of the woods, Northern California, shoot me out a message. Hey, maybe we can go out and audit a couple times together. You can play me some music. Let's see. Mark, yes, I try to be, calm, cordial, respectful. Maybe I need to step it up a notch a little bit. Not put up with so much shit. Some people say I'm too nice. However, that's just the way I am. I like to be nice to people. I don't believe in just randomly yelling at people or trying to antagonize or get a fake reaction. I believe in trying to get an organic reaction, and that reaction can be good. It can be bad. I don't control it. And yes, for you bootlickers that are like, Anthony, you're just trying to get a reaction. You're absolutely right. Tell me something new. I am trying to get a reaction, but the reaction is up to them, not me. They can ignore me, they can say hello, or they can come yell at me and do whatever they're going to do. But I don't control that reaction. Each person is responsible for their own actions. Let's see. Home of the Alamo. Heck yeah. I've actually only been in Texas once in my life on business while passing through to Arkansas. We had a layover, and I remember the airport there in Texas. I don't know how many airports you have, or I don't even remember which one it was, but it was fucking huge. I remember where we landed. Then, we were driving, like, I think part of the freeway or the runway even goes over like a road or something from what I remember. And it was a long way. And then they even have like a little train, or not a train, but like a little, I don't even know what you call it, like a Charlie cart or whatever, that takes you around from like one part of the airport to another part. And I remember thinking I had about an hour layover. I'm like, oh, I got time to go grab a bite or something. But man, it took me a long time to get from my one flight to my other flight. Good citizen. Sometimes you open carry here, but I mostly conceal. Hey, if you got the right permits or whatever the law is, that would probably make, I don't know if you guys ever used to watch The Armed Fisherman. I don't know if he's still out there doing videos. One of my other favorites out there. He open carries while he's on his way to and fishing and on his way back, because it's, I guess where he's at, I'm not sure if it's every state. I think it's Florida, but you're allowed to open carry going to and while you're actually fishing, hunting, or whatever, and on your way back, and he gets pulled over all the time. That'd make some great videos, though. Let's see. Gonzalez. Anthony, love your vids. It cracks me up when you, let's see, they piss you off and you cuss at them. Every once in a while, I do lose my cool, get a little pissed. I try not to in general, maybe, but, honestly, I've been thinking about it, like, I need to step it up a notch. Like, I don't want to get too angry, but I need to stop playing games, and like, because maybe I'm too nice. I don't know. What do you think? Like, if someone comes up to me and like, hey, what are you doing? Maybe I need to tell them, like, it's none of your fucking business, man, what I'm doing. Mind your own fucking business. Or maybe if someone is like, hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm minding my own fucking business. How about you? Piece of shits. I'm just fucking with you guys. I don't know. What do you think, though? Let's see. Where's everyone else watching from? I know we got Texas in the house, a few other places, but who else is in here? Going to be taking off soon. Just let me know. And guys, one of the best ways you guys can show support when you're watching my videos is not only smashing that like button, leave a couple of comments. Even if you're just saying, hey, I'm just here for the algorithm, that's fine. Let me know where you're watching from. And, from time to time, try to share some of my videos. I know you can't do it every time, but, from time to time, do it. And the other way you can show support is by simply trying to watch the video a little longer. The longer you watch my videos, the more it helps the algorithm. Let's just say you're watching only 5 minutes of a 20-minute video. Well, maybe when you're washing dishes, just let it keep playing. Or maybe you're going to you have a dog or cat. You're going to go play with them or take them out to pee or whatever. Keep the video running. You're going to the restroom. Keep the video running. It really helps me out. And then when you're finished watching the video, before you log out, go to someone else's video. I don't care who. Just go to someone else's video and then, close your app. It does help out the rhythm. Let's see here. If there's any last questions, I'm trying to scroll through here. Let me know. See, Mark Grizzly Bear, it's really good to see you out again. I've been dropping new videos. I do drop, like on Thursdays, I'll usually drop like a throwback Thursday or, whatever, double feature throwback, whatever it is. But on average, not every week, but I would say on average, I'm probably dropping at least a couple new videos every single week. When you guys watch the short ones, like the little 60-second clips, some of those are new, some of them are old. And yeah, on Thursdays, I usually do like a throwback Thursday type thing, just for people who maybe haven't seen the videos before. But I've been out there, man. I haven't stopped. I haven't stepped away. If you watch, I'm dropping at least, 8, 10, 12 videos a month. Easy. Brand new ones, like in places I've never been, or maybe revisits, but brand new ones. But I appreciate it. I don't go live too often, just because there are trolls out there. And it's hard to get a natural reaction if they know who I am. For example, there's been times where I've been like at a city hall, and there's always that one troll that will call up city hall or the police station and be like, oh, that's Anthony X, and then it kind of gives it away. So that's why I don't do too many lives when I'm out there. I did a live, if you guys remember, like a week and a half ago over in Monterey, California, at the Monterey Bay Aquarium in Cannery Row. Security kind of freaked out a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. I should pull up to Area 51. It's funny. I've gotten people before that are trolls. I'm not saying you are or not. I'm just saying. But I've had people say, oh, Anthony, you think you're free. You should go record the Pentagon or go to Area 51. My daughter has pictures. She recorded the Pentagon. I actually, believe it or not, guys, I have family that worked in the Pentagon during 9/11 on there. I have people that have worked in my family for the CIA back in the day, probably, I think it was like 30 years ago. That was one of the lead people for the CIA. And as far as recording at Area 51, well, that's why they have certain areas that are restricted and some that aren't. I guarantee it, though, I could go up to Area 51 if I had the means, to get out there right now and record. So could you. You could go out there and record. They're not going to stop you. However, that's as long as you don't go past a restricted area. But people all day long go up to Area 51. Every single day, it's a tourist attraction. People go there and fucking record. I mean, it's not bad. It's like you can go and record the White House. You can go and record the Pentagon. Now, if you're going in restricted areas, they're going to come and get you. Or let's say you're in a tree with night vision goggles and a Kevlar vest, they're probably going to detain you and ask some questions. But if you're just out there walking around on the sidewalk peacefully, taking some pictures and video, people do it all day long. It's not a big deal. I always think it's funny, though, when people are like, oh, Anthony, go record Area 51 or go record, the Pentagon or go record the White House. People do it all day long, man. It's not a big deal. Fresno in the house. Hell yeah, baby. Got some family over in Clovis. Haven't recorded in Fresno or Clovis area for a while, so I need to get back out there and hit some areas up. I was just over in Madera a few weeks back, and then recently over in Tracy, but I need to get over to Fresno and Bakersfield area a little more. From California, well, that could be anywhere, man. See, Franksky 40. I'm from California. Well, that's a big area, but I appreciate you watching from the UK. Hell yeah, love it. You just shit in your pants on the bus. What should you do? Well, I would, and this is just my opinion, I'd probably recommend go change your pants, brother. Come on, man. If you really need someone to tell you what to do, you probably need to get a caregiver. Turlock, hell yeah. Yeah, I was just in Tracy. Haven't done Turlock for, I don't know, since the beginning of the year, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but I've done a few audits over in Turlock as well. Was just in Tracy like a week ago. So I need to get out there more as well. It's hard. I can't be everywhere all at once, man. I'm just one guy. Got a bad back. I'm doing my best, guys. Canada, hell yeah. In the motherfucking house. And I'm assuming, being that you're from Canada, you guys also watch True North Transparency, man. He's awesome, man. Canadian auditor. We chat back and forth on the phone a lot, through text messaging and just phone calls. And we talk about different, things that happen on both sides of the border, man. He's awesome. He's putting in work. Gonzalez Clovis audit would be good. I actually hit up in the past. I don't know if I posted it. If you search, I'd have to, do a search for me though on, type in Anthony X Fresno or type Anthony X Clovis, because I do remember actually auditing the Clovis PD and the little tiny, if I remember correctly, in that same parking lot, there's the PD and what do you call it, the library. So I did do a library and PD audit, and I remember they have like a cast iron fence out there, and one of the cops did come out. We also did a little cop watch. I was out there with Casey, if I remember. But it's been a while. That was probably a couple years ago, so it definitely could use some more up-to-date audits. And guys, if you guys want to get a hold of me, you can always send me private messages on Facebook, Messenger, or Instagram. If you guys got suggestions somewhere in my neck of the woods. I also have a new email, like I shared with you guys before. It's AX1, like the number one numeric, AX1 audits@yahoo.com. So AX, the number one, AUDITS. So AX1 audits@yahoo.com. Feel free to shoot me out an email if you guys ever got some suggestions or just want to reach out. I see. Much respect. Appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes it is hard, man. Not just out there auditing, because there's also all those trolls that they want to get physical with you. They see a camera and they fucking throw a little tantrum. But just all the driving to go to where we're going, driving to come back, editing videos, posting the videos, trying to respond to comments, doing live streams. It's very time consuming, guys. What city are you in currently? Yes, I'm in one of my cities. I don't give up that information too easy, though. Let's see here. Sacramento. I've only done a few audits in Sacramento, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember if I hit up the jail or not. Or if I posted it. I might have hit it up a couple years back, but I don't remember. I have been wanting to get back out there, though. CIA. I was hoping to audit with you someday, but you might forget about me. Well, if I forget about you, it's not on purpose. But between Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I'm getting dozens and dozens and dozens of messages each week, and I'm a small channel getting hundreds of comments. It's hard to keep up with everybody. I typically don't go auditing with people unless I know they had a channel, they already put some work in. I have done it before, but I gotta know that you're putting in some work. So feel free to reach out. Again, you can shoot me out a private message on Facebook and or Messenger. If you've already done some audits, CIA, you sound familiar. I'm sure we spoke before. But my memory's not what it used to be. Just keep in mind, ever since my accident, it's not the same as it was, so it's not personal. No bootlicking, absolutely not. Although, maybe if some people have a boot fetish, hey, why not, man? Clean those boots, man. Let me know when they're finished, man. I'll send them mine. Finland in the house, hell yeah! I like all the different colors. Looks very Christmassy. Aussie has inspired me to do this movement in Australia. Hell yeah! If you got a channel, shoot me out, because I can't really see here while I'm live streaming, but shoot me out a message on Facebook Messenger and or Instagram, or my email, ax1audits@yahoo.com, with a link to your channel if you got some videos, and I'll definitely if you've already done them, I'd love to help feature them and help your channel grow. I love to see when there's new audits coming from like the UK, Canada. I think Nasty Nathaniel, man, he's been out there a lot, but I think he's even done something like the Philippines. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think I've seen any in Australia, so I'm not sure what the laws are out there, but I'm sure it's not illegal to take a picture or a video, I would imagine. So it would be interesting. CIA. I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Hold on one second. All right, CIA. I'm telling you, man, I have a bad back, but yes, I know I keep on forgetting to go and mail it. And it's not that I forget. I remember I tried, and this is what you're talking. I'm not going to show the address, but yes, I still got the package right here. I'm going to leave it in the front of my car on my passenger seat, so next time I'm out in the area, I can mail this. I actually, when I went to, I'm trying to think, I went to the UPS store, and for some reason, because if I remember correctly, you were saying you don't have a regular address, you had a P.O. box, but they wouldn't take a P.O. box. I had to go to the post office or something, or vice versa. It was one of them. So yeah, when I tried to mail it the one time, they would not let me mail it at the UPS store. So it's now in the front seat, because when it's in the trunk, I keep fucking forgetting. It's not that I don't want to mail it or I'm just being lazy. Honestly, I keep forgetting. But now it's in the front seat, so hopefully I can get it going. But you're right. You see, I did have the package, though. I haven't threw it away. I didn't throw it away. Haven't forgot about it. I just haven't mailed it. What am I gonna do? I'm telling you guys, I don't know if it's anything to do with my accident though, but my memory's not what it used to be. Just little things, especially my short-term memory. It's really bad, guys. So like, for example, like today, like there's times like I'm washing dishes and just going to another room to grab something, in like 4 seconds, I forget what I was doing. I really have to stop and pause and think about what I'm doing, and that happens daily. So yeah, my memory is not what it used to be. Even my vocabulary, I notice, has been going downhill ever since my accident. So, it's hard for me, man. I'm trying. Nothing wrong with you stalking my channel. I love it. Keep it going. Have I ever won, let's see, Michael, have I ever won a settlement for wrongful arrest or anything like that? No, I have not, because just so you guys, it's funny, that's another thing. All the trolls that are out there and bootlickers are like, Anthony, you're out there just to make money and create lawsuits. People don't realize, number one, I've never sued anyone in my life. Never. And trust me, I've had plenty of opportunities. I could probably have a few $100K in my bank account right now, extra, I should say, if that was my goal. But people don't realize when you try to do a lawsuit, it takes time. It's funny, like I'll post a video and someone will be like, where's the lawsuit? It doesn't just happen in one fucking day. You got to go file complaints. You got to, go serve the first serve maybe the possible intent to sue or demand letter, and then you got to go to the courts and file it first, and then hire someone to serve that paperwork, because you can't do it yourself, at least from the best of my knowledge. And those things can take 2 years, 3 years. However, I am going to start trying to, though. I just went, if you guys watched one of my last videos over the last week or so, a couple weeks ago, I went and served to the city of Pleasanton for violating my rights under prior restraint. They put a privacy complaint for one of my news stories, and under prior restraint, that's basically like censorship. So I went and served them. They responded that they're not willing to budge, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to intimidate me, like, oh, well, if there's legal action, we're going to countersue, for the cost, and that's fine. I got money, don't worry. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the accountability. So I am going to be stepping it up. I am going to be taking legal action for them. I'm going to try to learn how to do it myself. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I'm not going to try to go out there and, file frivolous lawsuits, though, just for every little thing. But if I see that they, like, for example, they illegally detain me, they unlawfully arrest me, or if it's a public entity, as of now, moving forward, any public entities like City Hall, people that get paid by tax dollars, if they try to put privacy complaints on my videos, that's censorship, guys. That's prior restraint. It's a crime. You can't do that. We, the people, have a right to post stories. We have a right for transparency purposes, and we shouldn't be in fear of retaliation or censorship. So I'm going to start, though, so bear with me. I'm not, I've never done it before, but I am going to start. So great question. And sometimes it takes the settlement. Keep in mind, once again, it doesn't happen. Usually these things can take, when I say months, it can take 6 months, 18 months to a couple years, just going back and forth. And the first step is, I'm going to try to send out a intent to sue demand letter, see if they want to work it out of court. If that doesn't work, yes, go file complaints either before or after, and then go file the lawsuit with, your local courthouse, whether it's a civil lawsuit or whatever, a regular lawsuit. Go file the paperwork, and then you got to, and keep in mind, though, it's expensive. You got to, unless you know how to do everything yourself, if you want to hire an attorney, they can sometimes want anywhere from $5K to $10K or more just to get the ball rolling. Even having someone serve the papers costs money. You got to hire the sheriff usually goes out and does that. It's not easy, guys, and it's not cheap. But hey, maybe if I'm not willing to, if I had to put my own personal money into every time I felt like my rights were being violated, I'd have to put 100,000 into it every year, easy. And don't get me wrong, over time I'd probably get most of it back and maybe more. But the main purpose of my videos is to exercise my rights, see if they're respected, and if they're not, try to educate them, and if that doesn't work, expose them. But yes, I am going to step it up, though. I'm going to make an exception for a few here and there. But again, yes, suing them is what it takes sometimes. But again, it costs money. It's very time consuming, going back and forth. And it can take, 2 to 3 years. It's not something that just happens and 3 months later you got a settlement. It's not something you're going to see me post a video and then a month later another video of the settlement. It takes time. Let me go through some of these comments, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up. Yes, the attorney fees are no joke. Luckily, I have a family attorney that's phenomenal. If ever something big happens, I know this attorney got my back, but in general, for like little small ones, it's very expensive, guys. They're not going to take your case unless it's a huge, huge case, pro bono, for example, or a contingency or whatever. It costs money. Yes. I'm still researching all that, man. If there's any attorneys out there that want to help guide me on the journey to step up my game a little bit, definitely feel free to reach out to me, man. I could use the guidance because it is something I want to do. I know there are certain procedures in different states. I know, like here in California, you got to file a complaint, I think, within 6 months or 12 months. You then got to file then I don't know. It's hard, man. I got to learn everything. It's a learning curve. I am starting off with the Pleasanton, California, city of Pleasanton. I already served them an official intent to sue or demand letter explaining what happened and when and where and what my demands were. And other than just financial, one of my demands was an apology by the city of Pleasanton, and they rejected it already. So yeah, now I'm going to step it up, and I am going to see what I can do to take legal action. Yeah, I believe here, you could be right. Someone told me 30 days, but from what I've been researching, I believe it's 180 days, but I could be wrong. NorCal Cop Watch, man. I'm not going to get into it too much because there's always two sides to every coin. But I think he had some, as you know, he just basically disappeared. He's been ghosting everyone. He got exposed on one of those troll channels. It seems like he had some allegations of doing some stuff with some minors when he was younger. From what I remember, he was still he was a lot younger, and this was a while ago, but I think he was in like his 20s and either dating or something. Something happened where he was with someone younger. I don't remember the details. I remember at the time looking up his public records, and it seemed legit. I tried messaging him just to see what was happening, hoping he would come out with an explanation or something, but no, nothing. Just like there's a lot of cops or city workers, teachers even, that get exposed every year for this type of unacceptable behavior. It happened to some of us too, some of the auditors, man. You guys all remember, I can't remember his name. What's the guy that, I think he was in Texas. He was really good, man. He was a great auditor. You'd always see like his two different camera angles, one where he's holding a camera. I'm trying to think of his name. I'm brain dead. Fuck. What's his name? He's an older guy, maybe in his 50s. But yeah, he got arrested. I think he's doing like 20 years for some crazy shit, man. Mark, Grizzly Bear, appreciate you. Yep, just Google NorCal Cop Watch, and I can't remember the channel that showed it, but it shows some stuff. I can't remember his name, George Costabile or something like that. You can also, it's public record, guys. You can do your own research. I hate talking about people, though, especially for something that serious. Even if it was an enemy, even if it was a cop, I'd only expose what I actually hear from like their official channels, or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Impact Media. I'm not sure. You have an Impact Media question mark. Is that a question, or are you asking if I know the channel? I think there's two channels that sound very similar that are two separate channels that are Impact Media. But what about it? Question mark. What's up? I'm about to head out, guys, so last chance for any questions. But yeah, going back to NorCal, I tried reaching out to him just to see what was up. Won't respond. I spoke to one of his other buddies that he's even closer with. He said he wouldn't respond to him either. Looks pretty bad, guys. You know. And the way he got exposed was, from what I remember, if you guys watch, go check out Vigilantioch on YouTube. There's a video where they're both recording in a library. I can't remember where, but over in the Bay Area, where I actually audited again, and they were fine. They weren't bad, but a black dude actually attacked NorCal Cop Watch and wailed on him for, got a good couple hits in his face. NorCal Cop Watch pulled out some pepper spray to defend himself, and that's legit, guys. That part is legit. You have a right to defend yourself, but because he was a convicted felon prior, he got arrested for the pepper spray, and that's when all his records started popping out, and that's when the troll channels exposed him. Go check out Vigilantioch, though, and scroll through his videos for maybe the last month or two. He put a repost of it, kind of talking about what happened, and he was with him, and he's explaining how he didn't know about his past and everything. But go check it out, man. Vigilantioch on YouTube. And tell him I sent you, man. CIA, I'm not sure what you're saying here. Copy. This is Anthony X1 Audits and not Anthony. I'm not sure. Are you trying to say my email? My email, if you guys want to send me anything, is AX1 Audits, and that's just a number one, like numeric, AX1 Audits at yahoo.com. Kung Fu guy. So here's what happens with Mr. Kung Fu guy, the security guy who did that roundhouse Chuck Norris kick that was about 18 inches off the ground. To the best of my knowledge, from what I remember hearing, either the end of last year or the beginning of this year, I don't remember when, but if you remember, he got arrested. He technically, even though they didn't take him down, but he got a case. He got arrested, but basically released at the same time, and he never showed up to court, and he was on the run. Now, as of what happened since then, I don't know. Maybe he eventually got caught. Maybe he did show up to court, got it worked out. Maybe he left the country. I just remember and I can't confirm this, guys. I haven't pulled up his record or whatever, but from what I heard, he never showed up for court. If you got a solid case, you got to make a point and sue. Well, tell you what, I do have some solid cases, man. So send me $20,000 and I'll start suing them for sure. It's very expensive and time consuming, though, to go back and forth, and these things don't happen overnight. I'll tell you what, after we, if we win anything, if we get a settlement or win anything, you can get back your money that you send me first, and then any profit after that, after we pay the lawyer fees, expenses and whatnot, hey, we'll split the winnings 50-50, because I'm not in it for the money. But it's very expensive, man. I'm not going to start putting my, out of my savings, If I started suing everyone, I mean, I like I said, I'd be putting 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a year easy into this. But if you want to send me the money and walk the walk rather than just talk the talk, like I said, I am going to try a little here, a little there to step it up a notch, but it's not that easy like you think. Yes, you can definitely win six figures. I'm not saying you can't. And trust me, I have a big case that I'm going to be taking some legal action on next month for a giant civil rights violation. And that one I am going to step it up. And like I said, even for little things, I'm going to try to start serving the intent to sue. I'm going to try to learn how to do it myself. It might not be the best way to do it. I may lose a couple cases. I may win a couple cases. But it's very time consuming. And if you want to do it the right way, though, it's usually better when you hire an attorney. That can be quite costly. I got the money, but I'm not willing to, start chipping away at my savings. You're right, it can be life-changing. So go ahead and send me some money, and we'll split the winnings 50-50 after, of course, you get your expenses back first. If you feel that confident, man, you want to pay the lawyer fees, and, all the fees to file the lawsuit, the document fees to serve the paperwork, hotel fees for me to go back and forth, let me know. Yeah, some people are calling him NorCal Kid Watch. Just like the police, though, man. There's good apples, bad apples. I remember in every year, there's probably at least 1,000 cases, or pretty close to it, nationwide. If you combine teachers, school officials, city hall people, police officers that are arrested for numerous things, from shoplifting to embezzlement to planting evidence, and yes, pedophile shit. It does happen, guys. It's pretty sad, he was decent. He was learning. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I believe you, Michael. I believe you. Like I said, man, if you want to invest and cover the costs, I'm willing to work it out. Like I said, get your whatever investment. For example, if you want to put $15,000 into a case, assuming it's 15, it might only be 5,000. It might only be 10,000. I don't know. And then let's say we get 50. Well, you get your original money back first, and we'll split the winnings. But right now, I'm definitely not, especially when I'm, living off my savings until I get back to work, because I haven't been working for a few years. I'm definitely not looking to do that if I don't have to. I already got some other cases that I'll be doing that with. Gotcha, CIA, gotcha. It's all good. It's all good, baby. All good in the hood, Chili Wood. Heard what I said, Hoghead? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up. I appreciate each and every one of you. I got the package. You know what I'm talking about, to the CIA. It's right here in the front seat now. Hopefully get it out to you in the next couple days. But again, don't be mad if it doesn't. But it's at least out of my trunk. That's a start. It's now. Every time I get in my vehicle, even though I don't get out too often, even tomorrow I have a doctor appointment, but I'm going to be doing it like a Zoom type phone call. But I'll try to get it out to you as soon as possible. Have I ever gotten into a fight on an audit? No fights. I've been to the point where I've had to push people away, or back up. I've had people, even grab my phone where I've had to, get it back. But no fights. I try not to get into fights, guys. If you have to fight, you have to fight. But I'm not looking to do that if I don't have to. Nobody really wins in a situation like that, especially if you get the wrong police force that don't like what you're doing. They're gonna, you might have to do some time, for a couple days, until you get bailed out or whatever. That's not what I'm about. I'm about peacefully recording, exercising my rights. Don't get me wrong, man. If someone, does get physical now, because it seems like it has gotten a little bit worse. If I have to smack them up the side of the head with a light, I will do it. But I try to keep it peaceful, guys. Uh-oh. Someone wants to talk politics. Trump or Kamala? I'm not going to answer that question, but I think a lot of you know where I roll in that. All I can say is when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, you got to make tough decisions. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like either one of them. You're a big guy. I'm not sure what that means. Are you saying I'm a big guy because I'm a big guy, like overweight? Or are you saying I'm a big guy? I don't know. Because I'm not, for whatever you're trying to say out there, I'm not scared to go out there, man. I'll go out there by myself at fucking midnight. I don't care. I've joked around with people, man. I'd make a good dictator for the people. I think you would, yes. Why do I audit police? Why not? Do you not? A good police officer embraces the camera, but a bad one fears it. Not what you're saying. Are you from McDonald's? What does that mean? That makes no sense. Yes, American, you can sue for pretty much anything. There's a lot of frivolous lawsuits out there, and a lot of them get dropped. I'm not looking to create a frivolous lawsuit or just go around suing people. Don't get me wrong, I am going to start. When people start violating my rights, I am going to try to step it up a notch, but it's not that easy. Like I said, though, if you want to pay for the attorney fees, I'll do it a lot more, though, for sure, and we'll split the winnings, if any. Talk is cheap, brother. If you have to ask what auditing is, you probably haven't been watching the channel long enough. I will slap on your face. That was funny. I took that video down just because NorCal was in it, and I honestly don't want anything to do with him. Like I said, if he wants to reach out to me, if he's watching and wants to reach out and, explain himself, he doesn't have to. Obviously, it's his choice. But right now, just the way it's looking, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that guy. I don't know if this is the question, Lucas, do you think all police are bad? Or at least most of them? No, I don't. My neighbor across the street and up like a house is a police officer. And I don't speak to him all the time, but he seems like a nice, hardworking family man. I'm actually friends with a retired sheriff deputy that now works security over in Santa Cruz. Known him for about 30 years. I'm also friends with the sergeant over in Watsonville, California, that I've known for about 30 years. I got his personal cell phone. He used to go to my work and say hi every once in a while. I'm definitely not anti-police at all, if that's the impression you're getting. However, I'm all about accountability. I also just to turn a coin a little bit or turn sides, flip the sides. Just because you're a cop doesn't give you special fucking privileges to abuse your power. Just like all cops are not bad, I hate it when people say, like, oh, back the blue. No, you should back a good cop. You don't just say, well, I'm going to back the blue because they're a fucking cop, though. Because there's also bad ones out there. A good cop should have no problem with someone taking pictures and video in public, on public property, peacefully from a distance. A good cop should have no problem answering a few questions, maybe saying hello, and if you ask them to identify, simply saying, oh yeah, I'm officer so-and-so, my badge number is 2727, for example. But if you're going to play games and be like, oh, it's right here, or I'll tell you later, or you're going to just come up barking orders, like, get away from me, back up. No, you be cordial and respectful. They work for the people. We don't work for them. If they give me respect, I'll give them respect. But to answer your question, no, I'm not anti-cop or anything like that, and I don't think they're all bad. But I do think we have a right to record them. I know we have a right to record them. We have a right to document them. And we have a right to monitor them. You know what? I'd rather have 100 people out there recording 100 different cop watches and nothing wrong happens of 99 of them, but that one time that you get a cop that plants some evidence, maybe attacks the citizen and then tries to say, oh, the person attacked him and, was, attacking a police officer, you're going to wish you had someone recording. When I was younger, man, I remember as a youngster, as a teenager, getting pulled over, coming back from work. I was a manager of a restaurant way back in the day. And on the weekend. I usually didn't get out till 11 or 12, and I was coming home from work. We've got about a dozen cameras at work. I stopped at a 7-Eleven, got a couple snacks, and right when I got out of the 7-Eleven parking lot, where there's a lot of cameras too as well, this sheriff deputy over in Santa Cruz County followed me for a few blocks. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. I wasn't cop watching back then, guys. This was, like I said, more than 20 years ago. This was a long time ago. I don't even know if they had YouTube back then. YouTube's been around for what, like 20 something years, right around there. But anyways, I was coming home from work. I pulled over in 7-Eleven, got something. I put the bag in the back seat of my car. I had a 4-door vehicle at the time, a Ford Escape, if I remember correctly, or I can't remember if it was my black Honda. But anyways, I got out of the 7-Eleven parking lot. I pulled over across the street because I couldn't reach my snack. Got my snack out, put it in the front seat, and then I saw this cop make a U-turn and then follow me. He then made up some bullshit. He followed me, pulled me over, left all my windows down in my car. He's like, we had a description of someone that looked just like you, going through houses and, doing something and whatever. Brought me back over to the area, and after about 2 or 3 hours of being detained, basically said, oh, well, you know what? We didn't find anything, but I still think you're guilty. So I'm going to give you a ticket for this concealed knife. Or no, I'm going to give you a ticket for this double-sided dagger or whatever, or concealed weapon, concealed knife. I can't remember how he worded it. Now, like I said, I have a family attorney. Check this out, though. The sheriff deputy said the reason he searched my vehicle was from outside the car, when he's looking in my goddamn window, that he saw a knife. But the ticket was for a concealed weapon. How can it be concealed if he saw it from outside the fucking vehicle? That's what he wrote in his report. My attorney got it dismissed. My attorney said I could definitely go for an apology letter, but I didn't want to push it, guys. I have to go drive that road 5 days a week at the time. I didn't want to take a chance of, more retaliation, but it shows you that some cops are bad. I remember once when I was younger, getting pulled over at like around midnight, going to, I think it was Safeway in Santa Cruz. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I was a young guy wearing my hat backwards. Got pulled over, and this was like 12, 1, 2 in the morning. The sheriff deputy at the time was like, oh, have you been drinking? I didn't know my rights. He had me, sitting in my car, follow my finger back and forth. Didn't actually make me get out to do any field sobriety or anything. But then after, when he saw that I wasn't drinking, you know what this fucking piece of shit fucking sheriff deputy did? He's like, well, you seems like you're good, but I'm going to give you a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. Guys, I had my fucking seatbelt on. And I kind of looked at him like dumbfounded, like, is this really happening? Is he really giving me a ticket right in front of me like that? Saying I'm not wearing a seatbelt when it's literally fucking on me right now? And I told him, look, my seatbelt is on right now as we speak. And his only response was, well, you could have put it on while I was pulling you over. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? Those are the kind of fucking piece of shit cops that make all cops look bad. And like I said, though, not everyone's like that. And this was, more than 20 years ago. Everybody wasn't fucking recording back then. I wish I was, because it was ridiculous, man. So that's why it's important to go out and record the police. If you see someone getting pulled over, pull out your damn phone. Do it from a safe distance, 15, 20 feet away, just so they can't say you're impeding. You don't have to be fucking, across the street if they tell you. You don't have to be down the road, but give them, even like, I think 10 feet is reasonable. But just to be safe, give them 15 or 20 feet and record. Most likely, nothing will happen. But if you get that one bad cop that's trying to plant evidence, he's going to probably not do it because he knows you're recording and you just saved someone. Hope that makes sense, guys. But I do got to get going. I see a lot of other questions, like my thoughts on P. Diddy. I can't really, he seems like a piece of shit from what I've been reading. I could be wrong, though, man. But he seems like a piece of shit. I'll be straight up. Michael, if I got a solid case. Yes, I got a solid case. Feel free to shoot me out an email if you really want to fund it. I am going to be looking for a good attorney on this one of an unlawful arrest. Your thoughts? Let's see, the Diddy drive. I'm not going to really get into the whole Diddy thing, but I can just say, just from what I've been seeing, he seems like a piece of shit. Guys, I can ramble on forever. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's no good ones. I don't want to say that. There's not a lot, but there are a few good cops out there. And when I say good, meaning they're not super bad, because I guaranteed even the ones that I think are good, if it really came down to it, if the shit hit the fan where one of their partners was doing something wrong, trying to violate someone's rights, do you think they're going to back up the citizen or their partner? Something to think about. Makes you wonder. Come back to Firebaugh. Such a small town, man. I've driven by it a few times, but there's really not much to do there. If you got something in mind, though, you're definitely welcome to shoot me out a private message, Facebook and or Messenger, and let me know. Yeah, some of the cops are too aggressive. They need to learn, man. Like, they need to do more training and realize, even though I get it, it's a stressful job. You never know who's out to get you. But if more cops were cordial and respectful and treated members of the public the proper ways, they wouldn't have to watch their back as much. They still have to do it, but you wouldn't have so much hatred. They need to learn to approach people with a little more, how do you say, just being calm. Be firm, but be calm. Be respectful. Don't just come out barking orders and yelling at people. Let me see your ID. Fuck that shit. Start off by saying, hello, I'm Officer so-and-so. I'm approaching you because. Jared, I'd recommend always record the police. If you ever have any further, moving forward, if you have any further interactions, always record and document your encounters. If you do want to go back one of these days and file an official complaint, I'll be happy to meet you at I believe they have the new PD, the new location. They're already open. I've been there before. Now that I think about it, right by the new fire department. And I'll go with you and document while you file a complaint, just for transparency purposes. But FYI, in California, to the best of my knowledge, and this is not legal advice, you don't have to identify to a police officer unless you're actually arrested for a separate crime and during the booking process, like when they're taking your fingerprints, your face. Then if you don't identify properly, it could be a separate charge. But just because you're detained, whether it's verbally, even physically, let's say they put the handcuffs on you, let's say they throw you in the back of their fucking car, and they're like, yeah, you're being detained while we investigate. You're not required to answer questions. You're not required to help them build a case against you. You can remain silent at any point. Just tell them, I'm revoking the Fifth Amendment. I wish not to answer questions, and don't answer anything. If they ask you for ID, I don't answer questions. What's your name? I don't answer questions. Do you have ID? I don't answer questions. And they might try to do some intimidating shit. Cops are fucking, some of them, not all of them, guys. When I say cops, you know what I mean, the bad ones. They will do little things. Some are subtle, some are not so subtle. But they will do things like put on their gloves. They're asking you, and they'll say something like, are you refusing to identify, as they're putting their gloves on? Or they might say, are you refusing to identify, while they call for backup? That way in your mind, it's mentally, you're like, shit, I'm about to get in trouble if I don't identify. But you're not required to identify. As far as fishing goes, I'm not an expert in this, but like, I know you do have to have, technically, I believe, a fishing license. And even then, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I even think a fishing license, you're not even required to show it to a regular cop. Only a fish and game, type agent or whatever you call them, fish and game warden or whatever. But if a regular, let's say you're fishing and a regular cop comes up to you and is like, unless now, if they're giving you a ticket for something, let's say there's a sign clearly with the penal code saying no fishing, and there's actually a penal code under it, or no trespassing, and they're giving you a verbal warning, you might have to be identified then. That'd be a different type of scenario. But if it's just because they want your name or they want to give you a warning, no. Even trespassing typically works like they have to give you a verbal warning, the opportunity to leave first. But reach out to me again, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, or my new email, AX1, the number 1, like numeric, not spelled, but AX1 audits@yahoo.com, and we'll link up. If you want to do that, let me know. A camera is definitely a weapon of mass destruction if it's a cop or a bad cop. Jared, they took your phones and deleted video recordings of the incident. That's a crime. You can't do that. They have no authority to fucking delete your footage. We need to link up, brother. I just saw that message. One thing, I don't know how your phone works, but I know with my phone, if they try to delete it, it usually goes to my iCloud. Or they delete it, but then it goes to a secondary delete where you have to delete it. I don't know if they got rid of it completely. Either way, minimum, we need to go file a complaint on that. If you have the information, like what officer, the date, the time it happened, reach out to me. Let's link up. I'll meet up with you, and we'll go expose the shit out of them. They definitely, I don't know if you volunteered and gave them the phone or if they just snatched it from you without your permission, but they're not allowed to do that. Ozzy, later if you're still out there. Ken Murphy, talk to you later. Thank you. You're right. Let's see. You can sometimes recover deleted videos. It all depends on how it's set up. If you have a camera where it's not going to your cloud, or whatever you have, it might not be able to. If they delete a video and then they go into your deleted videos and delete that as well, you might not be able to, unless there's some little trick I don't know. That's why I was asking. I know, like with my camera, as long as I have internet on, it's automatically going there. There's actually a third. I remember I need to download it. There's some kind of app out there that you can record, and while you're recording, it goes to a third party automatically as you're taking pictures and video. That way, if someone steals your phone, if it gets broken, whatever the reason is, you have all your footage up to that point. Yes, we need to get back out there. Jared, if you're still there, though, reach out. I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Reach out to me, brother. Sorry you had to go through all that. It's fucking bullshit. The officers should be ashamed of themselves for treating you that way. And they definitely 100% had no authority to touch your phone. It'd be interesting if they have body cam on, if their body cameras were on, assuming they had them, while they approached you. We need to report them to Internal Affairs. There's also, I can't remember the name of it, I'm brain dead, but there are third-party agencies out there for police activity, for misconduct, that we can report them to. We'll figure it out together. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Peace. Oh, hold on. It was the cop in my thumbnail of my Fireball video. I believe it. It's a small department in general. And you can tell there were some fucking tyrants there, especially the chief. Peace out. Jared, email me or send me a private message on Facebook Messenger or Instagram in the next couple days. And it's up to you, obviously. I don't know, if you live there, I don't want you to have to get too much heat. It's up to you what you want to pursue. But I think minimum, you should file a complaint with the department for those officers. We should also go and bring a copy of that complaint to the city manager and or mayor. And we should put a request in. They're going to probably deny it, but let's put a request in for the service call, and see what, and the police report, and see what was said. Let's also put a request in for the body cam footage. They're going to probably deny it, but let's put the request in. And I'll go with you and document, and I'll keep your name anonymous if you'd like. I'll make sure that you're off the footage, maybe just your back, or if you want to stay completely off, you can stay off it completely, just your voice, while you're doing the complaint process, and we'll work together. But again, we can go out there and expose them. I'll go out with another auditor, so we have some backup. So I'll make sure I can even do one live stream while I'm doing one regular recording. That way they can't do any games, but we'll hold them accountable. Check your footage though. If they deleted it, how far did they go to delete it? Did they delete just your video if you were recording, and then did they go to your backup deleted videos and delete that as well? And if not, check your iCloud. I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but if it has an iCloud, did maybe the footage go to your iCloud? No body cam, got it. Well, either way, we got to go file complaints. We got to work on a story. I got to interview you in person just for a couple minutes so we can share this with the world. We can blur your name out. We can blur your picture out, man. It's up to you, but we need to expose them. And if you don't want me to interview you, as far as you being on the camera, I can just tell, I can narrate and tell people what's happening here. But we need to expose them. Up to you. Think about it. Reach out. Again, ax1audits@yahoo.com. Facebook or Instagram Messenger. You can reach out. Out of here. Peace.